The life and death of the real Dracula. Discovering Vlad the Impaler's forgotten history. An era where peace had no home. An era where survival meant embracing the darkness within. Vlad III Dracula, known as Vlad the Impaler, stood as a grim force of that era. His legacy is drenched in the blood of over 80,000 enemy soldiers and innocent civilians. Victims of his gruesome method of execution? Impalement. But the horrors of Vlad's reign didn't stop there. He was said to be a sadist, rumored to drink the blood of his enemies, reveling in the torment he inflicted upon others. He would dine leisurely while watching lifeless bodies hang from towering spires. A man who seemed to thrive on cruelty and fear. But beneath this facade of brutality lies a man more complex than meets the eye. Vlad Dracula's actions were driven by a cause greater than himself, a cause that shaped his destiny and earned him the name he's remembered by. This is the life of the real Dracula. Vlad Dracul means devil and dragon, a name his father, Vlad Dracul II, gave him after the emblem of the Order of the Dragon, who were against the rule of the Ottoman Empire. And he did live up to his name. His father, Vlad II Dracul, was not of noble birth, but his lineage traced back to the fearless Mircea the Brave. Vlad spent his early years in the tranquil embrace of the Saxon town of Sighișoara, surrounded by his family. But fate has a cruel way of changing lives, and at the tender age of 11, a shadow fell over him. His father's refusal to aid the Ottoman invasion of Transylvania in 1442 set in motion a series of events that would shape Vlad's destiny. The Sultan Murad II summoned Vlad II Dracul to Gallipoli, demanding unwavering loyalty. Vlad, along with his young sons Vlad and Radu, embarked on a perilous journey that would lead them into captivity, a descent into darkness. While Vlad II Dracul found freedom by the year's end, Vlad and Radu remained trapped in the sinister clutches of the Ottoman Empire, held as hostages to ensure their father's loyalty. It was during these years that the Ottoman Empire molded them into weapons, forging Vlad into a fearsome warrior. His loathing for the Ottomans grew with each passing day, fueled by the unsettling intimacy between Radu and Sultan Mehmed II. As Vlad honed his martial skills, the scars of Ottoman cruelty, the torment of his family's destruction, and the agony of captivity kindled a burning desire for revenge. The spark of rebellion smoldered within him, a tempest waiting to be unleashed. In 1447, after the tragic deaths of his father and elder brother Mircea, Vlad emerged from the shadows of captivity. Free at last, Vlad swore vengeance for the unspeakable atrocities against his family. But he wasn't alone on this dark path. Vlad's enduring love for Katerina Siegel, the radiant daughter of a guild leader, was his light. Their forbidden love endured for over 2 decades, yielding 5 children. Katerina stood as Vlad's unwavering support as he embarked on his turbulent journey as the ruler and defender of Wallachia. At the peak of Vlad Dracul's reign, his stronghold, the foreboding Poenari Citadel, perched strategically, defying all attempts at siege or conquest. As days turned to nights, Vlad's dreadful reputation grew, earning him the dreadful title, the Impaler. Impalement was no swift demise. Instead, it sentenced its victims to prolonged agony. Vlad ruled over Wallachia 3 times. His first reign, at 17 years old, lasted a mere 6 months in 1448, withered away due to lackluster support from the nobility, leading to his swift banishment by Vladislav II. His second reign, spanning from 1456 to 1462, was the most vile and merciless era of his reign. He could not forget the treachery of certain noble families in his father's and elder brother's deaths. His revenge was methodical, as he systematically eliminated those he mistrusted. Impalement became his favorite instrument, with over 500 nobles and their families meeting gruesome fates on his dreaded stakes. To ensure his personal army's unwavering loyalty, he rewarded them with riches, lands, homes, and gold. Diminishing the nobility's power was crucial to securing his unchallenged rule and proclaiming his independence. Yet his cruelty, while effective, drew the disdain of Saxon merchants and their descendants. They painted Vlad as a sadistic fiend, relishing torment and even weaving gruesome tales of blood drinking and cannibalism. Dracula was far from finished, and the darkness surrounding him would only deepen. The thirst for vengeance had transformed into an unquenchable hunger for power, unseating the Ottoman Empire. It all began when Vlad dared to defy the mighty Sultan of the Ottomans. Refusing to pay tribute, he kindled the wrath of Sultan Mehmed II. This rebellion was no small matter. A prince raised by the Ottomans had turned against his benefactors. The Sultan, determined to quell this defiance, dispatched 2 trusted emissaries to Wallachia with a mission to assassinate Vlad. However, Vlad was not one to be caught unawares. He not only uncovered their treacherous plot, but turned it against them, impaling not just the envoys, but their entire armies. This act would forever brand Vlad's ruthlessness. Across the vast empire's cities, the Ottoman army met its gruesome fate. The sentence was impalement, and it was mercilessly meted out to more than 17,000 people. No age or gender was spared in this macabre toll. However, the most infamous encounter lay ahead in 1462. A large Ottoman army, exceeding 250,000, confronted Vlad's forces, a mere 30,000, boys included. Vlad unleashed a relentless campaign of night attacks, sabotaging their supplies and tainting their water sources. The Ottomans, demoralized and bewildered, faced an adversary unlike any other. On a fateful night, Vlad and a handful of loyal comrades hatched a daring plan. Disguised as Turks, they infiltrated the Ottoman camp, intent on capturing or assassinating the Sultan himself. Though their mission did not succeed, the chaos and confusion sown by Vlad's ruse led to Turkish soldiers turning on one another in a nightmarish spectacle. As the Ottoman forces marched towards Targoviste, they stumbled upon a sight that would haunt their dreams. Instead of a Wallachian army, they found a grotesque forest of impaled corpses. Over 20,000 men, women, and children left to rot. Sultan Mehmed II, a conqueror of mighty cities, was unnerved to his core. He realized that wresting the homeland from a man capable of such diabolical deeds was nigh impossible. Mehmed II chose to retreat, leaving Vlad's younger brother, Radu the Handsome, to vie for the Wallachian throne. And thus began a series of battles between the two brothers. Vlad emerged victorious on multiple occasions, impaling over 30,000 Ottoman soldiers in the process. Yet Radu secured the support of the nobility, and the tides of politics turned against Vlad, sealing his fate. Vlad's plight echoed through the halls of power while he was in the custody of Hungary's King Matthias Corvinus. His captivity alarmed Pope Pius II and the Venetians, who had backed Vlad's campaigns against the Ottomans. To tarnish Vlad's reputation further, Matthias Corvinus fabricated a series of letters, seemingly from Vlad, in which he plotted with Mehmed II against the Hungarian army, all in exchange for a return to his throne. After enduring 14 long years of captivity, Matthias Corvinus finally acknowledged Vlad as the rightful prince of Wallachia and set him free. However, he offered no military aid to reclaim his territory. In 1476, Mehmed II invaded Moldavia, defeating Stephen the Great at the Battle of Valia Alba. In response, Vlad, alongside Stephen Batory, launched an attack on Moldavia, forcing the Ottoman Sultan to abandon his siege of the Nempt citadel. Later that year, Matthias Corvinus called upon the Saxons of Transylvania to support Stephen Batory's invasion of Wallachia, alongside Stephen the Great. With Vlad and Stephen the Great's agreed-upon alliance, Basarab Laiota, the voivode of Wallachia, found himself outmatched and outmaneuvered, fleeing to the Ottoman Empire in the face of their advancing forces. The two leaders boldly occupied Bucharest, casting a dark shadow over the once thriving city. As winter's chill settled upon the land, Basarab Leota launched a desperate invasion of Wallachia, bolstered by the might of the Ottoman Empire. Vlad met this formidable adversary on the battlefield, and it was there that Vlad met his fatal fate. The details are cloaked in an eerie veil of mystery, but Stephen the Great spoke of Vlad's dismemberment and the dispatchment of his head to Sultan Mehmed II as a trophy. Even after Vlad's death, his name still carries echoes of cruelty and darkness. Yet behind this cloak of cruelty lied a multifaceted leader, one cherished by the people of Romania for his fairness, courage, and sharp intellect. Under Vlad's vigilant watch, Wallachia prospered economically, even amid the backdrop of conflicts and battles. While history may cast shadows upon his character, it remains indisputable that Vlad the Impaler held a peculiar place in the hearts of his people. And the people of Wallachia, torn between dread and admiration, learned to navigate the mystifying ways of their leader.